All right, everybody. How are you doing out there on this amazing Sunday? Hope everybody's well. We're doing very, very well here in sunny South Africa. I say sunny today, but it's not sunny. It is actually raining, and earlier it was hail. But keep in mind we're going through, spring, so the weather is mostly good. It was good just the other day. We was out having an amazing time. Of course, we absolutely enjoy South Africa, as some of you guys already know. And if you haven't been to our channel, this is a great time simply because you know what? South Africa is absolutely amazing. I know some people thinking we're talking hyperbole and all these great and wonderful things, but we actually are not. So, like I said, my name is Mark Edward Blanton. I am the owner of the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. And what we do is provide amazing tours to South Africa. Mostly, we do tours, we do group tours. So you will hear us talking about our real estate tours and things like that, which are, we got one coming up real soon in November of this year. Of course, you can find all that information on our website. And then, of course, we got another group tour coming on in February, which is a real estate tour to Johannesburg and Pretoria. So we do have a lot going on here at the Real South Africa, simply because the demand is high, and honestly, we're kind of like the only company that's positioned to provide this level of service, these level of tours, the access to South Africa properly, and whatnot. So we've been doing it well for over 7+ years. And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can go to the testimonials page and you will just see the plethora of people who've come here. And not all of them, of course. Everybody doesn't do a video, but we're going to have a young lady on at some point during this broadcast who has come with us and had an amazing time, from what I understand. But she's going to tell us the ins and the outs and what actually happened and whatnot. And of course, you guys can always send a message and then in the comments, and then we can put those up, and like this one right here. How you doing, Sabiso? And yeah, so we'll put it up, and then we can get those questions answered and whatnot. Because I know there's a high demand, for South Africa nowadays. I think because of a lot of the marketing that we've been doing, letting people know what's available, kind of it's starting to pique people's interests in what's happening over here. And from the South African perspective, we're like, oh, we've been doing this the whole time. Where y'all been? And then of course from the American perspective, oh, wait a minute, that's Africa. We're not really sure. Should we be engaging? How do we come and do we do this? How can I say it? Do we do this like every other African nation? I mean, there's 54 nations. I mean, think about it. If you do 50 nations in the United States, they're not all the same, even though they're all Americans. So just kind of take a little grain of salt with that. But yeah, like I say, it's not sunny today, but it's coming. It's coming back. I promise you. I think in the next couple days, the sun is coming back. I'm looking at the temperatures because I'm looking to travel somewhere. I'm always looking to travel somewhere, and South Africa has a lot of places to visit. It's funny. Everybody thinks, well, it's only Cape Town. It's only Johannesburg. Well, I can remember a time, because we've been doing this tourism thing for so long. Oh my God, it seems like it's been a long time, and it's so good and refreshing to see another group of people actually coming to South Africa, which are the Americans, and it's to a point now where it was just announced. Over here, tourism is like a main thing here, and it was funny. The minister was like, "Oh, there are more tourists from America coming than ever before." And of course, we get a lot of emails from people. We get those links sent to us. and so forth. Private individuals are thanking us for what we're doing, because when you start doing tourism proper, people see it. And like this young lady here, Anadi, said, "Thank you for promoting South African tourism." Yeah, it's going to be a grassroots movement. A lot of you guys heard me say this before. It's grassroots. It's just going to be us. And the best way to do it, the best way to be recognized, the best way to anything is to do it proper. And so that's why coming through tourism like us, we're a tourism company. It bodes well for us across the board, and so forth. So it's interesting. Somebody just said, "Hey, Mark, yes, the sunshine will come back." Hello from Midrand. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, yeah. I hope it does come back, man, because I need the sun. I got to take vitamin D pills just every time the weather goes down. It gets a little crazy. And then it says right here, guys, you guys are doing a great job, and again, we appreciate it. We really, really do. And it's funny because we're in the country a lot. We're always, we do travel other countries, but we're mostly in South Africa. I'm like 97.3%, and that's the actual number, by the way. And we're in South Africa, and we get recognized a lot. We chat with people a lot. Today, me and Tasha was out shopping, and we had just left the gym, and we had an amazing conversation with a brother and his family. It was good to see the two babies, and then the wife. She's drinking her coffee, and the little girls, they were a little jealous. I'm not jealous. They were a little shy. I'm just going to say that. And but we had a great conversation, and the way we see it from our perspective is that South Africa is definitely on its way. You probably don't want to get here when it's all done and baked and whatnot. You want to be part of this, scenario now more than later. So that's why we do tourism, and we do it on a high level. We got it set up where you can pick your own dates, because we get a lot of phone calls. I should probably just go to the mailbag, because the mailbag is like, can I go on this date? What about getting a visitor's visa? What about shots? What about a lot of what abouts? But at least you're reaching out to us, and that's a good thing, because that shows interest. But then we turn around and give you the answers, and then you're like, so you're telling me I could pick a 10-day trip to Cape Town and Durban, and on top of that, I can show up on my dates, and all my stuff is private, and I can actually do all these things. Well, yes, that's what we got. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring on my partner in all of this, and my wife, as you guys already know. Let me see if I can pop her up on this screen. There she goes. Y'all see her?
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, from, as we all have recognized, not so sunny South Africa, but more like a wet, rainy, um, lightning kind of storm, South Africa. I hope you guys are doing well today. As Mark stated, we've been doing this for a while. We are very proud of the work that we've been able to do and the relationships we've been able to establish over the last 7+ years. We use those relationships to leverage those for your benefit when you decide to travel with us, whether it be on a real estate tour, which is one of our group tours, or on private tours, which the majority of our clients do choose to do, because they do get private service, because they do get amazing experiences that are one-on-one. The young lady we're going to speak to is a solo traveler, and a lot of people have asked, like, is it okay if I travel solo as a woman? Am I going to be safe? And I'm hoping that she's going to answer a lot of those questions for you. So that's kind of what we are hoping, that she'll just tell you her experience overall, and how the trip was curated for her, because her trip was special. She had a very strong mission in mind. She knows what her goal is, and I'm very interested to hear what she has to say. She gave us blow by blow just about every day while she was here. So she was very excited and wanted to tell her story to you guys. And I know that listening to her story will actually motivate some of you to get off the fence, to look at South Africa, to see what it actually has to offer for you, whether you have a family or whether you're traveling solo. So, um, so yeah, so we're gonna chat to her a little bit. There's nothing new really going on here. Like Mark said, we went to the gym this morning. We try to go often. And the family we met this morning was absolutely amazing. They recognized us. We obviously weren't looking our best because we were coming from the gym, but nevertheless, that's typically how life works. Um, so yeah, so if the guy that saw us at the gym today is watching, please chime in. I would love to say hello to you. So yeah, so Mark, when you are ready to bring LaDawn in, we can get started.
All right, we're gonna bring her in just a moment. I just want to make sure we're getting people to come to the room. I see is that it's up to 38 people now, which is good. Probably by the time she tells the best part of the story, it'll be at roughly about 100 people coming in because people tend to to like what we do here in the tourism space and so forth. So what I'm getting ready to do, guys, I'm about to bring in this young lady. I hope she's ready. I hope she's. I'm hoping she's ready to tell the story. And I always tell people, every video that you've ever seen of us, I tell people, just tell people the straight truth. Tell them, without it, just this is what it is. And people generally are like, oh no, this is amazing. And then the funny part about it, LaDawn was like, hey, can we do a video? She doesn't realize that most of the people that we end up doing videos ask us, can they do a video? I remember early on years ago, I'm talking about years ago, people used to be like, I'm not doing no video. And I'm like, I didn't even ask. Even ask. But then eventually they like, no, that's when they first get here. And then they have a proper experience. And they're like, man, people need to know about this. People need to know. People just need to know. So they're like, well, can we do a video? And I'm like, okay, let me dig in my bag and find my camera. So sometimes when y'all see the video, I'll be like, oh, the sound isn't perfect. That isn't perfect. Because a lot of times it was on the fly and people just really wanted to tell their story because they're getting ready to get on the plane and they're getting ready to go back to the US and they're having some levels of anxiety, to say the least, and whatnot. So in the meanwhile, we're getting ready to have a conversation with. Let's see if we can bring her up,
LaDawn.
huh?
Hey there.
And there she is. There she is.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
Good
you sound
morning.
good.
Good morning. Yes, morning on my side of the world today. So yeah, and it's not sunny
Yes.
here in Atlanta either. We're having the same type of weather. So yeah.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Oh, well, you're not
It's
missing out
probably
any. Then you're not missing out.
No,
yeah.
no, no.
It's probably somebody from Atlanta, probably who just landed today, brought all
Okay.
that with them. Yeah, we got to track
Probably.
them down. Yeah, because currently we have other people here as well. We always have people here in country, um, you know, uh, getting their thing. So I just mentioned, and the bad part was most people they at the end it's time to go back home, and they have a different reality. So now at some point you finish your amazing tour, and then you had to go back home. Tell me about that last day, and then when you arrive, as you're
So
not smiling anymore.
that last day was very hard for me because it was the last day. And
Uh-huh.
I would say every night Savannah was on it. She sent my itinerary for the next day. And so when I got that last itinerary telling me checkout time and what time I needed to be at the airport, I mean, stomach just hit rock bottom. If I could have figured out a way to stow away in anybody's trunk or closet, I would still be there today, right now, right now. So it was from the time I landed until the time I left one of the most amazing travel experiences that I've ever had. And I traveled extensively. The people were, Mark, you said it a number of times that we as Black Americans have been lied to. And let me tell
Hmm.
you, if I don't get anything else across on this video, it's really why I wanted to do the video. We have been
Yes.
lied to, not simply about what Africa looks like. The only thing we see is the infomercial with the baby with the swollen stomach and flies flying around their head. People
Mm-hmm.
still have that stuck in their heads. It is probably one of the most modern places that I visited. Very, as you say, everything you do is luxury. Everywhere you went into, everybody was welcoming, everything was modern, everything was lush, everything was luxury, all the things. And the people, I'm going to tell you, one of the people that you set me up with, um,
Uh-huh.
she really had me crying within the first 20 seconds of our meeting. She
Mm-hmm.
hugged me as if we were long lost sisters. I mean, a real hold on to you embrace, and then took my hands and we sat and talked before we got to the business of the day.
Uh-huh.
And one of the questions I asked her was regarding Africans' feelings about Black Americans, because we've been told so many negative things. And baby, when I tell you, she cut through that stereotype. She said, no, we know your history. We know what you've been through. We've been through something very similar. So we understand. We understand what has happened to you all in America and abroad. And we want
Mm-hmm.
you to come home. And she said something that you guys always say. If you notice when you look around, everyone else has found their way to Africa and made it home. You
Yeah.
guys were the only ones that haven't come back in mass amounts. We want you here. Could you just imagine what would happen if we all came home? She said, we follow you guys. We look at everything you do. We love you. We love you. I don't know who's telling you guys that, but we want you home. And I was done. That was the second time I had a extensive conversation about that topic. I was done. I was done. I was literally done because we've been lied to royally. Royally.
Well, I must agree with you. We still hear these things when people send us emails and they are requesting information so they can come on a tour, and they ask the same questions that we were told to be concerned with, and I understand it because I was told the same thing. I didn't know. And then we get here, and just like you, but a lot of people don't realize that people think it's hyperbole when we say people have emotional responses, and things are like, these are grown people, like, in my age or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't believe that's happening. And then they get here and they go through the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you, mine was a little interesting, right? So
Uh-huh.
went to Cape Town first, and then I
Hmm.
transitioned from Cape Town to Durban. And so flying into Cape Town, it is I felt like I was in a picture book, a pop-up picture book the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a feast for the eyes. It's one of the most beautiful places. God was doing his thing that day when he said, I'm gonna make Cape Town. It is
Yeah.
absolutely stunning, visually stunning. So I felt like when I landed in Cape Town, oh my God, like this is the best vacation ever. And it's just so much to do. It felt just very like upper echelon vacation, all the things. That's what it was giving, right?
Yeah.
Very international flair, um, a very big mix of everybody there. It was just a beautiful place. It felt like a place that you could live and never get tired of being there because there's just so much to offer. So that's what I got
Hmm.
out of Cape Town. I really enjoyed it. But when I landed in Durban, and funny story, I met a young lady in Cape Town that was from Atlanta, right?
Okay.
She happened to know the lady that does our ads, my company's ads, as she knows my cousin as well. So we were introduced in Cape Town. And so we
Okay.
actually got together while we were in Cape Town. And one of the last things she said to me before I left to go to Durban, she said, "Well, you don't have to make a decision. You don't have to buy anything. You don't just take your time and figure out what
Yeah.
you want to do." I said, "Okay, I'll take that. I met you maybe because I needed to hear that message." So that's how I felt when I landed in Cape Town. When I landed in Durban, on the way from the airport to the hotel,
Hmm.
Cape Town doesn't have a lot of trees, but Durban does. And I love trees.
Oh yeah.
And as we were driving, I felt this sense of the best word I can describe is calm. It just felt like it washed over me. And I'm trying to talk myself out of it because the last word I remember was her saying, "Take your time, don't rush, don't rush." But it happened. I felt immediately grounded, and everything around me felt absolutely right. So yeah, my initial thought before leaving was that Durban was going to be my place simply because of the weather, right? But
Hmm.
I really got Africa in Durban. The drivers, the guys all spoke Zulu. Of course, everybody speaks perfect English, but I
Yeah.
heard the local language. I heard the local music in the car. The food, oh my oh my God, I'm a foodie too, but the food in Durban was beyond every
Hmm.
experience. I even had an opportunity to try, and this is probably what not people are not thinking this when I talk about all the um, amazing dining experiences I had. But on the day out, or one of the days out in the tour, my
Hmm.
driver, who was absolutely amazing, he asked me, he said, "Do you want to get some beef?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah." And so we we pull up into this spot like downtown, what I would call downtown, and the local people are there, gathered around their tables eating. And we go in, and this lady takes out this beef and she cuts it up. And it cuts up, it looks tender. It's smelling so good in there, right?
Of course.
I'm ready to eat. I look over my peripheral, I look over and see cows' heads right there. And I said, "Hey, hey, 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 uh, are we about to eat? Is this what?" He was like, "Yeah, beef. Like, what are you talking?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Are you still going to try?" So I didn't come all this way for nothing. Yes, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
when I tell you that meat was so delicious and so tender. I said, "How do they prepare it?" He said, "They just boil it." I said, "What are they seasoning with?" He said, "Salt." I said, "Y'all got some different salt in South Africa because our salt don't do this to food.
Yeah.
Our salt don't taste like this. Like, what do y'all got going on?" But it was absolutely delicious. So I'm saying that to say all the food everywhere that I ate was very good, very, very good, very delightful. Yeah. But I felt my
Excellent.
spirit land in Durban, and I know that it's the place that I am supposed to be. I know that that's the place that I'm supposed to transition, soft land my family to the continent.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that because yes, we live in Johannesburg.
Hmm.
Been here 80 years, but it's just like every time I turn around, every time me and Tasha turn around, we're back in Durban for
Okay.
some odd reason or not. Even if it's just something we got to do for the day, we like we're gonna be here like 3 days. We just stay 3 days, 4 days, just because it's Durban and whatnot. And then of course, people. We just recently did a real estate tour there. People, because honestly, people didn't know what Durban was. I say 3 years ago, at least to us, because we put it out and people were like, "What is Durban?" I mean, these are the messages that we get.
Yeah.
Tasha, you remember? Tell her.
I know what they were saying. Where's Durham? Where's Durham? I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
be like it's in the KwaZulu-Natal province, and they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "The home of the Zulus." And then you start
Mhm.
explaining it to them, and you show it to them, and they're like, "Oh." And then you
Yeah.
say it's on the Indian Ocean, and it's always warm. And then we start going down there and showing them, and then it's like, I think I might want to see that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah.
And I can believe that because everybody that I've spoken with about it, they've heard of Cape Town, they've
Yeah,
heard
of
of
course.
Johannesburg, they've heard of Zimbabwe. Durban, where is that? So
Mm,
yeah, I'm not shocked that you guys had that reaction, and this is what you do. So yeah, I've
yeah.
gotten that a lot. Yeah,
And so you enjoyed Durban. I like that.
I enjoyed the whole trip. Don't
Sure.
please don't discount Cape Town, but
Oh yeah,
Durban is,
absolutely.
yeah, this Durban is where my heart is, and you know I feel like, how you look at things online and you wonder when people are telling their testimony, is it a paid testimony? Is it for real? I'm here to tell you all, it's for real. So I went as
Yeah.
a solo traveler and I felt extremely safe um, as a solo traveler, as a woman traveler, as an African American woman traveler. Um, I had excursions on my itinerary that
Mhm.
literally I had to be in the car at 6 a.m. So that meant I would be alone in the car for at least 2 hours going up to Aquila Game Preserve, or when I
Mhm.
was and that was in Cape Town, and then in Durban, going up to St. Lucia to the water preserve. So, you had to have a level of trust to be in the car by yourself, with
Yeah,
a
in a
driver.
foreign country.
Yeah, in a foreign country, people you didn't know. And I felt so comfortable. Everybody that you all have built relationships with were extremely professional, extremely kind. And everybody said the same thing to me in the car. Like, if you want to talk, there's no question that's off limits. They were wanting to share about their experience. They were wanting to share about what the continent, their specific country, had to offer. And everybody was just forthcoming. And as we were driving anywhere we were going, they were explaining this and explaining that. But I felt extremely safe. When I landed in Durban, it was, almost getting to the evening. I literally had my stuff put down in the hotel, and I left the room and started walking around. This is like in a metropolitan downtown area. It felt very, very safe. Not one time did I feel like, let me tell you something I did and let you know exactly where I was.
Okay.
When I was in Cape Town, I was getting ready to go to dinner one evening. And so I stepped right outside of my room, my suite. Okay, we'll get to that. Luxury suites. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
But I stepped right outside of my suite to put my little selfie stick up, take a few pictures. And I put the latch in the door so the door wouldn't close and lock me out. I'm taking pictures and completely forgot to go back and close the door. I'm gone to dinner for a couple of hours, come back, door is open. Nothing is taken, nothing looks disturbed, nothing. I would never, ever, ever, ever in the Atlanta area or any surrounding areas ever. So that just lets you know how calm I was, because I can't even get out of the car without automatically locking. I come into a door, I'm going to automatically. For me to have my guard down that much, I hope that gives everybody listening or looking the sense of how safe I felt. All of the hotel staff were amazing, very accommodating, very nice. Any and everything I thought I could ask for or need, they were, wanting to share. They were also wanting to know about me. So it
Yeah.
wasn't, I didn't feel like, okay, you're a tourist and I have to take care of you. I'm trying to get a tip. No, it wasn't that. It was, they were really curious about my trip, why I was coming there, who I was, sharing who they were. It was just one of the most warm experiences that I've ever had. Everybody, the drivers, the tour guides, when I got to the excursions, the people that were in charge of the excursions, everybody was exceptionally friendly, and it felt genuine to me because they didn't have to, but it felt really, really genuine.
Well, I would say that we, on our end, because we're here, because we can't just jump up today and just fly to these locations or go to these locations throughout the country. Um, we do build these relationships. We do stop in. We do talk to our people. If something isn't right or we think something isn't right, we make the changes. Like something as simple as having a bath towel in your room is important. So we make sure that they do that, because they're used to dealing with European travelers and people don't realize that. And so we do. So European travelers, they have a different level of doing things. But I know us African Americans, I'm not going to say we're special, but we like certain things.
You
Things
like
have to
certain
be,
things.
yeah, they have to be a certain way. And I think that's where, Tasha probably can tell you better, but I think that's when people come on our tours, they're just, you know, they're so floored and they're like, I couldn't have done this myself. I couldn't have.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
Yes, it's no way, because my itinerary was packed
uh-huh.
every day that there was something to do in the morning and in the evening, and every every experience was curated. I felt like, I know other people that come to travel with you all, they go to some of the same places, but the level of detail and attention that you put into building a package for someone, it felt very customized. It felt very individualized for me. And I
Hmm.
could feel the care, right? So every day it was something, all of the things that you're supposed to see. It's no way. I don't feel like, and I feel like, I do a little okay when I try to plan
Yeah.
travel for myself, but it's no way that I would have gotten all of the things, all of the key points that you would want to see while you're traveling in South Africa. All of those were there. And then a couple of days, this is how I know you guys have good relationships with the people that you partner with, or they respect you as a partner. So in a couple of days, one in Cape Town as well as South Africa, the weather just would not cooperate for what was planned for that day on the tour. And both drivers slash tour guides in Cape Town as well as Durban, they could have easily said, okay, well, we're going to take you back to the hotel. I don't know what we're going to do. They pivoted so quick. And this is probably some of the most special moments on my trip, because I got to see some things that were not necessarily on the itinerary, but they were so accommodating and wanting to share who they were and their country. They took me to some amazing places. So I like, in Cape Town, I got to go to the Castle of Good Hope. I got to go to an ostrich farm. I got to go to where they tell you about how the diamonds are mined and see, how they go through the process. I got a chance to go places that just were not on the itinerary because of the weather that day. And I thought that was really cool and amazing. And then in Durban, I got the opportunity to visit some of the townships. And so I viewed some properties while I was there too. And this particular driver, I said, well, you kind of was with us yesterday and you drove us around to all of the amazing properties. And now I see these townships. Where's the middle? I want to see where the middle is. He said, do you really? This is the same gentleman that took me to get beef, right? So he drove me to the neighborhood, like, a neighborhood that he was familiar with, that he'd grown up in. He took me to the Muslim Museum. He took me to down on the side of the beaches where he showed me where it was segregated. So I just got a chance to see a lot of real life, everyday living in Durban, in both Cape Town. It was just so cool. And I got a chance to go in Cape Town to the areas where the slaves were. And they had these beautiful colored homes. And the guy said, well, all of the homes, they're colored in a specific way, and the colors indicate the trade that you were in. So not only did I see all the wonderful things you guys had on the itinerary, but because of the people that you partner with, they had enough care and concern to make sure my day was still full. And they showed me some amazing things. It was absolutely wonderful. Absolutely.
And that's the difference between a guide, a proper guide, and a driver, and a Uber driver.
That's right.
That's
100%.
Yeah, that's the difference. We get a lot of people who maybe they don't come with us, and then they get here and they're like, well, what about all these things that you guys be showing in your videos? And I'm like, because we have proper guides.
Yes.
We have proper, drivers that we use that make this experience a much better experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what you just experienced. And
100%.
that gives you a good idea. It gives you an even better view of what South Africa actually is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense, don't it?
It does. It does. And one of the things you always say too, I got a chance to experience that they are wanting to connect and they will reach out to you. But you have to do your part too as well. So I'm in Cape Town and I did the Sips and Souls tour. And it was so interesting that I'm obsessed with YouTube and all things Africa, specifically South Africa, right? And so right before I came, Tuani came across my feed. And so I saw the video of her story and I was like, I wonder if that's the same person, right? And it happened to be. And so the young lady that was my guide that day, Cindy, she was great. But while Cindy and I were at the Black-owned, Black-operated, Black winemaker wine farm, I said all the Blackness because it was awesome, right? So while we were there having the experience, Tuani calls to check on me. And I was like, okay. Yeah, y'all just showing out right now. Y'all just trying to show out, doing too much, right? So she called to check and we got a chance to FaceTime. And she actually invited me. Like, she doesn't know me. She invited me to an event that she was having the next day, right? I didn't go because I had a full day of the real South Africa, itinerary plan. But the fact that she invited me, the fact that she stopped in her day to call to check, just outstanding. Like, everything outstanding.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And you know, and it's not like we do this once every quarter with a group of people and all this and all that. We do this for everyone that comes in, everybody that comes in the country. They come on different dates. I think sometimes people don't even realize that there are other people in different cities
Yeah.
on a very different itinerary, but we're doing this across the country all the time. Like
Yeah.
currently, right now, we have people going to Peter Marisburg. We got people here, and they're having their private experiences. So, would you say having a private experience was very helpful or nice to have? Because yours was you had your own driver, you had your own everything versus a group.
Yeah. So I travel solo, a
Mm-hmm.
lot, but I travel with groups as well, family.
Yeah.
But I prefer solo travel because you can move on your own time, right?
Yes.
This was very special because I've traveled solo to other places, but I still had to, make sure I got wherever I was going via Uber or whatever arrangements I made, right? You guys
Yes.
really took care of everything. So I didn't have to worry about what time I needed to be somewhere, how I was going to get to wherever that place was. Um, it was just very, very smooth. I was concerned. The only thing that I was concerned about, and it wasn't concerned, I was like, how's this going to happen? So when we were on the safari in Aquila, so it was so interesting. There were other groups in the safari trucks, and they were all, the trucks were packed, and I'm the only one riding around with just my driver and just and just me in the truck. But it was cool to me because he gave me very personalized attention, and he said that God must be smiling on you today because you're having an unusual experience. Every animal on the game reserve. He kept telling me, he was apologizing at the start.
Yeah.
We might not see this, we might not see this because this, that, and the other. As soon as he said that and turned around, he said, "Oh my God, oh my God!" So those animals out, they are never out. I saw everybody, I saw everything, all the things, but I was the only one. I was the only one at dinner. I'm
Oh.
a person that can go to dinner by myself, so I didn't
Mm-hmm.
feel strange doing that. There was nothing. That was of concern for me, being a solo traveler. And again, you guys curated such an experience for me that
Yeah.
I feel very safe. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even like stuff, something like that. You might not appreciate it if you've never been on a safari drive, or what we like to call a game drive. That generally, like people that are listening right now don't realize that they normally fill up the vehicle with a whole bunch of people,
Hmm.
and you really can't even get your camera up to take a picture because
That's right.
everybody is looking. So our requirement, my requirement, that this is the way it goes, is that our people have their own. So if you would have
Mhm.
came with one other person, it would have been two people in that vehicle. That's it, and a
Yeah,
guide.
yeah,
And now you get to have a Lux experience
yeah.
above what everybody else was doing, trying to figure out a way to see something because it's crowded.
And it made
You
all the difference because he was like, "Do you want me to back up? Do you want me to slow down? Like, what do you?"
Yeah.
He was very in tune to making sure I got the
Hmm.
best experience that I could possibly have. And he was so educated. And I know they know the things that they're supposed to say, but he was really going in depth because we had the time to do so. So yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Okay. Let me bring somebody who assisted you on your tour. The pretty much the whole time you was because people don't realize that we have people that's making sure everything is going well every day.
Okay.
If something changed, we update you. There's nobody sitting in the states, and it's a 6 hour, 8 hour difference, and nothing that you could do. You just got to eat the L.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, you just got to eat it. But for us, we don't do that. So let me go ahead and bring this individual on stage. Guess
Hi,
who that
LaDawn.
Hey, hey, let me tell you, Savannah. Okay, let me start from the beginning.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
no, when I sent my first email, I was thinking, the real South Africa is a real company. So I was not expecting Latasha, first of all, to respond to me. She did, and I had an actual conversation with her. I felt like I was having a conversation with the superstar because, YouTube people, y'all are famous, right?
Mm.
And so when I get there and Savannah is like every step, every day during the course of the day, checking in at the top of the day, at the end of the day, Savannah was on top of everything, just the sweetest disposition. If I
Thank
call with
you.
just all the things. When I call, I think the only time I call her with a concern, and again, I think I expressed that in my my letter back to you all after I returned. I had a switching driver, and I was nervous because I had gotten used to one of the drivers, right?
Oh,
And,
yeah.
yeah. And she was like, "Don't worry about it. You're in good hands. It doesn't matter who we seeing. They're gonna be okay, right?" And so I was so thankful after I had that experience because it was a new perspective. It was somebody else allowing me to live through their experience as they were sharing, as we were driving. So, but Savannah, you were exceptional. I felt
Thank
like
you.
you were there, right? In my WhatsApp, it really felt like you were there because it was no time that I called that you didn't respond immediately. I mean, immediately. So yeah, you were
Well, I'm
great.
glad you felt comfortable. I'm glad you enjoyed your trips. I love the videos you sent us. You're such a diva. And I'm glad you had a wonderful time.
I did. And when I got to the hotel, and that was not my intent. I was taking videos to send back to my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody was, of course, curious. But when I walked into that first hotel room, I said, "Oh yeah, they gonna get this. I'm sending this immediately because everybody needs to see." When I walk in that room, that's how LaDawn likes to travel. I like to do things nice. I like to actually go into my hotel room and not be afraid to sit on things, right? It was beautiful. It was immaculately clean.
Mm-hmm.
It was nicely appointed. It was just absolutely beautiful. So when I got in there, I said, Savannah getting this video tonight. Yes, she is. I didn't know. Whatever you were going to do with it, it didn't matter. But that was appreciation from me saying, thank you. You guys
Mm-hmm.
really got it. And I know I'm not special. That's because that's just how you do things. But you guys really get it. You really do. You really do.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad you felt comfortable to sleep every night. You didn't feel any type of tension or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. I felt safe. Um, Again, all the room in Cape Town versus the room in Durban, they were different, but they were both
Mm-hmm.
very good rooms. The room in Durban was like I could see the beach
Yeah, it had the
and
beautiful
the ocean.
view.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, just it was all good. The only complaint I have about that trip is that I had to come back. I had to come back. Y'all even did your thing. Like, let me tell you this. So, like, I knew I had to get from from Cape Town to Durban and Durban back to Cape Town, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I had gone online myself to look at the flights, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna call and ask and see if they would do that for me. And of course, you guys did. And when I got on that plane, y'all had me in first class, window seat, a seat, the next to me going and coming, nobody sat in, and snacks. I said, okay, all right. I will not go to South Africa again if they ain't doing it. Like it's yeah, y'all did it. You did it. You did it. So anybody listening, if you thought it wasn't real, I'm not paid to do this. I really wanted to do this because you guys have figured out a way to bring us back to the continent and experience it in a way that we probably could never put together ourselves, in a way that makes you really start thinking immediately,
Mm-hmm.
how can I get back here? What do I need to do? What do I need to adjust in my life or figure out to make sure I can get back here and live in a way that I can't necessarily live at home? And I'm not saying people don't have nice lives here. I ain't saying that at
Yeah.
all. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying there's opportunity everywhere.
Definitely.
Being able to walk in freedom. The only thing I thought about the whole time I was there, I have two sons, 29 and 23, and I have a 2-year-old grandson. And every home that I looked at, the only thing I could imagine was that 2-year-old being there and being able to play in freedom, being able to go to
Mm.
the mall in freedom and not feel like they were being hunted for any reason.
Yeah.
You know, all of those things. My sons as well. So you guys have figured out a way to light the path for people that have the desire to do that, to come home, or even if they don't, want to come back and visit the continent everywhere you go and have a wonderful experience.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Well, Savannah just wanted to see you. Got anything else you want to say, Savannah?
Oh, it's really great to see you. I've been, of course, going along with your journey of your itinerary and you coming and making sure everything right. And I'm glad you enjoyed the whole experience
I
and
did.
you're willing to come back.
For sure. 100%. For sure. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance. You made everything feel seamless. And I really appreciate that's so valuable as a traveler, but especially a solo traveler to have that comfort right in reach. So thank you so much for that.
And I want to say thank you for being open minded because everybody isn't open minded. And you went along with the flow and you trusted me. So I want to say thank you for that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I probably would not have had it not been for the experiences I was
Yeah.
already having. You guys gave me no reason not to trust that everything that you were going to have me experience would be, as your father likes to say, proper. Like it was proper.
Yeah.
I had no doubt. So when we had to switch, I knew it was still going to be okay. Yeah,
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Well, I can't wait to see when you come back to South Africa.
for sure. Now I have to get to Johannesburg and
Yes, gotta come to
see what's
Josie.
happening. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thank you.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right, now that's cool, but yeah, Savannah put in a lot of work to make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to go. She knows the levels and the standards because you're kind of like me and Tasha in particular. We travel proper. We like going nice places, and it needs to be organized. When we travel, even within the country and even outside the country, we need to have everything dressed right, dressed. And there's a lot of us out there who want those levels of service, and they're available here simply because that's how I travel. So
Yeah,
I figure LaDawn should travel the same way. She should
I
be able to,
appreciate. I
she
appreciate
should
that.
have her own vehicle, going on
Yeah.
safari. Why not? That's what I expect.
Yeah, yeah. I really felt special because the other people were looking at me like, "Who is she? How does she get her own car?" I travel with
Yeah.
her.
That's right. That's right. They need to be like, who is this lady? Like,
Yes,
she
and
must be somebody.
yes,
Yes, I
yes.
want everybody that comes with us to feel, I want people to look at them and wonder who they are. They must
Yeah,
be somebody. They got a
yes,
private vehicle, they got private everything. Like, who are these
yeah,
people
yeah,
that got
yeah.
private? Like, that's what I want you to feel. So
It,
it
it was
works. It
it was
works.
definitely serving that energy. It was definitely giving that energy, right?
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
that's
Is there
funny.
anything
Marketing
else about
secrets
your
is
tour
funny.
that
It's
you
funny.
wanted to chat about? Because you sent so much. You sent so much to us, and it was so much. I just took it and put it and made a little video. At obviously,
Cool,
you saw
cool.
it,
Well, I
but
think
is it? Go
yeah,
ahead.
I think I touched on again, you guys building a great itinerary. I touched on the relationships that you guys have to make sure that when people come, we're fully taken care of. All of the experiences and the sites were things you would want to see. The properties, oh my God, were amazing. And one thing you guys you allude to it, but you never really give a specific. When I
Mhm.
tell you your money,
Mm.
your
Mm.
money
You
will go
said. You said.
a long way
Yeah.
in South Africa. Every time you all haven't been here a long time, so it was giving when you go to the dollar store and everything's just a dollar, and so you're crazy because everything's just a dollar, and then you get to the register and you have $500 worth of stuff because it was just a dollar. So those kind of prices is what I'm saying. Things that we go out and do as it relates to going out to eat. I just couldn't believe my bill at the end of every meal that I had to take care of, right? You
Mhm.
guys, a lot of it was in the package. I couldn't believe going into Woolworths, the things that I came out with and just the small amount. I have gone to the farmer's market since I've been back and purchased grapes that were $10. I went to the Woolworths there. And when I tell you Woolworths is like our upper echelon grocery store here is Whole Foods. It put Whole Foods to shame. It just puts it to shame, right? But I went in there and purchased grapes, paper towels, water, energy bars, a couple of other things. I spent $8.64.
Mm.
I was at
Mm.
the register like, did you ring everything up? Like, so I want people to understand that because you guys allude to how well priced things are. properties. I'm not even going to start talking about that because y'all have a property tour, and I don't want anybody to think about any property that I'm thinking about before I get a chance to get back over there. But believe me, your dollar goes a long way. And they build homes for real. They're not.
Now
wood
you can
frame.
say something.
Yeah.
Now you can say something. You don't got to tell them about the prices, but you can tell them what you saw since you were in Durban, and the next real estate tour is in Durban. Go ahead and hype Durban up. Go ahead, do your thing.
I'm torn here, Tasha, because I want to hype it up because it deserves being hyped up, but I don't want to because I'm coming back and I need my stuff still there when I come back.
Okay, all right, we're gonna leave it alone.
No. I'll say this. Every estate, what we call subdivisions here, first of all, when you enter, the level of security. So if you were wondering, can I go to South Africa and live and feel safe? The level of security was amazing. All of the layouts of the estates were very well planned. The homes, we think we're doing something when we get these 6-7 bedroom homes and they're built from wood frames. The little rain come, your house might fall down. Okay. No, they're building real homes over here. And they are so thoughtful. Like they build into the land. And then if you have something like a pool at your home, they build your home around the pool. So just about every vantage point in your home, you can walk out into nature. The features, everything is just upscale. Like it's truly luxury. I was simply amazed everywhere that I was taken. When you have themed estates, eco estates, equestrian estates. I went into one estate and horses were running around.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to tell you. The view. Like I said in one of my videos, I hate to take pictures or do video because the camera, while it delivers a clear picture, is never as beautiful as what you see through your natural eyes. So your videos are great. They're amazing, but it's nothing like seeing it in person. So all of the estates were.
Yeah, we have estates. Yeah.
Estates. They were absolutely beautiful. And they just thought about everything for the community, within the homes. I could just see my grandson easily playing in the estate that I've decided upon. Like,
so you already made a decision?
So let me say this of what I've seen. So I had one day, right? And so I know that there's more. And the young lady that I'm working with, she is fabulous. I love her. I'm sure we could talk about other things, but the one that I decided on of the ones that I had the opportunity to view, what got me about that particular subdivision. I'm sorry. You can tell I'm from the States.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
The States was the fruit. Like all of the roundabouts where we have beautiful landscapes in our communities were filled with fruit, like pineapple trees. All the trees that lined the street were trees that you could eat from, macadamia trees, whatever fruit. I mean, this was. So yeah, every estate was absolutely wonderful. All of the homes were wonderful. And I could really see myself being there and again, having my family members that are desirous of coming, having a soft landing. And they were minutes to other places, like, and I'm not saying the subdivision because I'm not.
Don't.
I'm not, yeah.
You can keep it to yourself. You can be a little selfish. It's fine.
It's okay.
Be a little selfish.
Just trust the places that they're going to take you.
Oh yeah.
If you can't find a home, whether it's an apartment, a condo, townhouse, or a freestanding home within an estate, if you can't find a home, something is wrong with you.
Well, I'll put it to you like
it's something for everybody. It's a price point for. I saw things from 200,000 all the way up to $1 million. So it's something for everybody.
Yeah, and even the ones at 200,000 are extremely nice. I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed of. Oh, my house it's only a 4-bedroom. Oh,
you shouldn't be. And just to give a comparison, because I lived out of the country before, and the home that I purchased maybe, I guess about 14 years ago now, purchased it, had it built brand new 14 years ago, and it was like 250. It was a 3-story, 7-bedroom home, beautiful home.
Mhm.
But I felt embarrassed about that home when I got there and saw the quality of how the homes are built. My home was beautiful. It was aesthetically pleasing,
Yeah.
but the quality, no comparison. None. And my
LaDawn,
home was brand new built. Yeah.
we have been in that situation before when we were visiting as tourists, kind of such as yourself, and we stayed with a guy locally here. He took care of me, because South Africans are just like that. He took care of us. We stayed at his house, and back then my mother was alive, and she came with us, and he was saying, hey, we need to pay you guys a visit in the U.S. And my mother was like, oh, we got some work to do. And we got some, and we had a nice house. I mean, we had a nice house.
Yeah.
But when you
Yeah,
get
land
there,
and a pool
and,
and
and I
everything.
think what happens a lot of times, people get their feelings hurt. They come on our tours and they get their feelings hurt, and they got to think about it. They got to reroute their whole lives
Yeah.
because now they saw Black people doing something that they thought Black people in the States was killing it,
Yeah.
and then they get here and they're like, wait a minute, this is a middle earner here in South Africa, and they
Yeah.
are killing it.
Yes, they are doing well. They are doing well. The homes are beautiful. And then the spirit of Ubuntu, like
Yeah,
the young lady that took me around, she was like, I don't know how you guys do it in the States. I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, we have people to help us,
yeah,
and that's normal. That's like a noble profession here. We have people to make sure that family is family. We have people that live in the homes with us.
yeah. You can actually, if you have a helper, I'm not sure the details, but there are a lot of people who have their helpers on their insurance, like health insurance.
I can believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's
It's
just
just
the
the way
integral
it is.
part. Yeah, what
Yeah,
she was
no,
saying, like, this is a family member. Like, I can breathe and go out and do the things I do because this person is here, right?
yeah,
There are things I
yeah,
don't have to worry about because this person is here. We are not doing anything. The most successful African American person of color in America, you're doing well. I feel like I've done well for myself. But we are not doing nothing. And I know exactly what I said. I know the word is nothing. We ain't doing
yeah.
nothing comparatively. I'm
Well,
just going to put it out there and I'm done.
well,
Yeah.
I will say, people who don't know us, they think, I don't know what, honestly, I don't know what they think, but we know our story was like, oh, we doing it in the state. We were doing very
Mhm.
well. I was government big time. Tasha was, we own our clinics, and then we did all this stuff. But then when we started coming here, it was a lot of sobering experiences
Yes.
happening, and we was
Yeah.
like, well, why are we, and the opportunity was here for us here, and we was like, why are we fighting to stay there when we could start making our plan to come here? So
Yeah.
with that being said, you may not notice, and probably no one notices, but we never tell people, hey, relocate to South Africa. You should move to South Africa. We always say, come on a visit,
Yeah.
like you just did. Like you're a prime example. You come on a visit, you have a proper visit. Now you could have had a crappy visit, and you might not feel the same way. I'm just being honest. Like if you was in that vehicle with all those people, you didn't get a chance to see the elephants because
You're
somebody's
right.
kids in the way, stuff like that. So we eliminate all these things, and but then here we are, and now you're thinking on your own because 99% of our people think of it on their own.
Yeah.
They come here and they're like, well, shoot, I could do much better for myself here in South Africa. And then you said it earlier about then you get back home and then you start thinking about what can I do to get back?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
whatever changes need to happen, you make it happen. And unfortunately, we already know this up front. Before you even came, we knew this because it happened to us. And
Yeah.
so we made all the changes, all of them. It was a lot of
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah. You
But
get home and start liquidating stuff real quick.
yes,
You
yes,
start arranging
Say it.
stuff.
Say it again. You
I
be
mean,
like, I don't need
really,
that.
really,
yeah.
really.
So
You stop
sometimes when we
buying
hear
stuff.
people say, they hadn't even been here and they think they're going to make all those moves without being here ever, I'm like, I was never that motivated before coming to South Africa. There's no way I would have done the stuff that I needed to do, not what I wanted to do, what I needed to do. But once I started coming here, the need didn't seem so daunting. It was like, oh,
Right. Right.
let me not get involved in that. Let me not get involved with this like I normally would. Let me just invest my time, my free time, in going to South Africa. Learning more about the culture, learning more about people, using that time. So like currently we have several couples that are here doing exactly that. They're on their like third, fourth, fifth, sixth trip,
Wow.
and they're learning, and they have made a lot of changes in the States, so they can actually have their grand entrance. And me and Tasha can tell you, 2011, when we first came here, it took us, just us. Now everybody's not the same, but it took us to 2018 to finally dispose of everything and had ourselves lined up properly to be able to come to South Africa. And then, so when people say, "Well, was it a what you call it, a culture shock?"
Culture
I'm
shock.
like, uh,
No,
let me
no.
tell you what the culture
How
shock
can
is
you how can it
today.
be a culture shock when you're going home to your people? They speak English, they're warm. No, the culture shock is coming back home and realizing you've been living crazy all your life. That's the culture shock. You know.
Yeah. So thank you for saying that, because that is how we feel. So we don't want people to fail. So we keep telling them, listen, we're not trying to trick you in coming to a trip, a trap, I mean, a trip. We're just not doing that. We just want you to come have this experience. So then you're going to be like, oh, okay, now I see what he's saying, because a lot of things I said in the videos before you came, they started manifesting in your trip. You start saying, "Oh, I see why he said this. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
see why he
Mm-hmm.
said that."
Mm-hmm.
It
Very
makes sense.
clear. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the good
Very
part
clear.
about it is, most of us, and I'm going to go a high number in the 80 percentiles, have enough capacity to understand things just like you did. They
Yeah.
do. They
Yeah.
just don't. They never get the experience. They never. I mean, the only way you can get experience is have experience.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Exposure is everything. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. So
everything. Yeah.
yeah,
And let
so
me say this, Mark. A
yeah.
couple of my drivers said this, and I was like, oh my God. South Africa, one of the drivers said he was offended because one of the people, not that it come with the real South Africa, but he had
Yeah.
someone transporting, and he said she was just looking around and looking strange, and he asked, like, what are you looking for? And she was like, where are the lions? And he was like, what do you mean, where are the lions? She was like, where are the lions? Aren't they just walking around in the streets? And he said he was so offended. He was like, now,
Mm,
how do you think we could be living if lions were just walking around in the street? And why would you come here if you thought lions were going to be walking around in the street? So I gave that example to say, whatever lie that you've been told regarding how the continent is,
mhm,
specifically here in South Africa, just blow all that up. It is a very modern place. Anything that you could want for, you have access to, readily accessible. I mean, the quality of life. Again, I've lived abroad before, and I've enjoyed those places. Uh, there were pockets of things, but South Africa seemed to have it all. So don't waste your time. Don't think about it. Just do it. Come to the continent and experience it yourself. The real South Africa travels to Durban, Cape Town, Zimbabwe, Johannesburg, and I'm sure you'll be adding other things, Pretoria. There's some
mhm.
there that that you may identify with. Don't be afraid to do it because there's so much value um, in being able to see people that look like you that are thriving and flourishing and that want you there, right? And that you are the majority. It's a really cool experience. I can't wait to get back. I can't wait. So dispel all those rumors, all the lies you've been told, because that's what they are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people keep pushing those same lies, and it makes it difficult for the next person who
Mm-hmm.
could have an opportunity. Because I don't know what's wrong with me, but I always think about people like our people who are retiring, who are I think of school teachers a lot. I don't know why, because I do know why, because I know school teachers don't make a lot of they just don't make a lot of money, and they do a great service for our kids and stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, they got to start making some hard choices at retirement, and just all of us. And all I ever think of, I'm like, you know what? It'd be amazing if some of these people, not all, but some, that could come to South Africa, see it, and say, you know what? I can get me a nice little 2 or 3 bedroom apartment on my monies, live very well, a well appointed location with
Mhm.
services, with a
Mhm.
hospital right over there,
Mhm.
um, and I could live very well on the money that I make versus trying to decide, am I going to have cable, or am I going to have a cell phone, or things like that. I mean, the quality of life, and you said it, LaDawn, is pretty high.
Yeah.
Even for people who in the United States that probably would be, barely getting by, here you can actually, thrive pretty well here in this country. But again, you never hear us say, "Oh, move to South Africa," but people, they want to move. But the ones that we have here, we got a lot of people over the last 7 years who have moved to South Africa because of how we operate and what we've been able to show them. And then whenever they are, we're kind of like, okay, we do got things in place. But if I tell a person who didn't come, hey, you need to do this and do this, they're gonna be like, nah, I don't want to do all that. But if
Yeah.
I tell a person who's been here 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5 times, they're gonna do it the next day.
That's right.
And then they're like, oh, okay, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. We got a family who just moved here who was literally, Scott was literally texting me on a regular basis, giving me updates. And it took him 4 years to get here. But now his family's here
Yeah.
and
All
they're
worth it.
happy.
Yeah, it's
And
all worth it. Well, I
that's
can't
what
wait
it's
till you guys have reunions, like whomever's in Durban, like whoever came on your tour and they found a home in Durban. I'm just gonna need y'all to plan that, right? Because I, I
yeah,
need I
Okay.
need I need people when I get there, right? So
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
yeah.
But for us, people don't realize that, when like we're here just like you, like when you was here. So there's still a lot to do, and there's a lot of places to
Mhm.
go, and we do still explore. We still go places. We still do things, and so forth. I mean, we've been here 8 years, and we're still, you know, Tasha Gray know what I'm getting ready to say. We're over here twerking it up, having the best time possible. We have the best time, and people like, well, don't you want to this and don't you want? I'm like, y'all
No,
don't understand. We're past
no,
the part
yeah,
trying to get here. We're past the part trying to figure out certain things about how to live here.
yeah,
We've been here too long,
yeah,
and we're down the line. There's even more stuff that could be done.
yeah.
And so that's where we find ourselves a lot of times. But somebody asked a question,
Okay.
and I think you may have answered it. I don't know if you can see it on the screen.
Uh, no, I
It
can't.
said, it
Please
said,
ask.
please ask her if she had a different perspective of the U.S. when she got back from visiting South Africa.
Yes, I've already answered that. Yes, I did. I did. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that and sound. I don't know if that sounded away, but yes, I did. I knew what I was traveling from, and I know what I want moving forward for the remainder of my life and for my sons and my grandson. And that's freedom, and that's peace, and that's family. And I got a great sense of all of those things while in South Africa. As I stated, I've lived other places and I've gotten those things, but there was not necessarily great infrastructure there as well with all of those
Mhm.
things. There was not necessarily something to do all the time once you finish seeing the beach, right? You get that. And what I can appreciate about South Africa, because I knew I wanted to come to retire to the continent, I thought it was going to be Kenya. But what I appreciate about South Africa is that it's so easy to get to the neighboring countries. Roads are,
Oh
there. You
yeah,
can do that. There were just so many pluses. But yes, my perspective changed to the degree I said at the top of the video. If I could have stowed away in somebody's trunk, I wouldn't be doing this video in Atlanta today. I would still be there, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I know for a fact that my male children and my grandson can come there and live as free people. And that's important to me because as soon as I got back, you turn on the news and it was the same as before. You go to the
yeah.
you go to the grocery store, grapes are still $10. So yeah, 100% different perspective. Hmm.
Okay, okay. somebody asked me. They said here. Uh, okay, Joe. Obviously, Joburg is a vibe, but could you expound a little bit more about Cape Town? Because Mike, I can't say the name.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Michelle Logan.
the only
yeah, Michelle. Yeah, it
one of
is.
the things that would prevent me from living in Cape Town. I'm sorry, let me say it clearly. The only thing that would prevent me from settling down in Cape Town is the weather. I love it hot. I love hot weather, right? So
Mhm.
Durban won out. But Cape Town is one of the most beautiful places I've ever experienced on travel in my life. Um, just the scenery everywhere you went, it was beautiful. There it felt like there's no day that you could be there and not have anything to do, whether you wanted to relax on the beach, whether you wanted to go to the wine farms, whether you want, if you're an outside person, if like in the States, if you live in Colorado or Montana or somewhere like that, like where you'd like to go outside and hike the most
Mhm.
beautiful picturesque mountains, that I mean, there was just something for everyone, and you have the
Yeah,
game reserve and all the things. So everything was amazing in Cape Town. The weather is just not hot enough all the time for me. But I would be
Yeah,
vacationing there on a regular. Please,
oh
hundred
yeah,
percent,
please
yeah.
believe
hundred
that.
percent.
Yeah,
Because like December, we was there in December, and I think that for in Celsius, it was roughly about 43 degrees Celsius, which was about 115, 110
hmm
in Cape Town
hmm
in December because it's the middle of summer. It was
hmm
actually for the we call it festive season, but it's the holidays
yeah,
um, and whatnot. So, but yeah, I must concur. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Tasha?
No, Cape Town is always Cape Town, and it
yeah,
never not does that. It is beautiful. It's definitely deserved its rank as one of the most beautiful cities in the
yeah,
world. So I'm never going to take that from it. Weather is probably one of our issues too. We stayed there for 2 months, and it was kind of like up and
yeah,
down. You never kind of knew what kind of day you were going to have. But for us, when it comes to being able to hop on the plane and get there for a quick weekend, that's the plus for us. I
yeah,
mean, a quick
yes,
2 hour flight, you can get there for the weekend, you can get back, or even better, from Joburg to Durban is only a 50-minute flight. 50 minutes in the air. By the time you get up and get down,
Yep.
you are ready to go. Durban's a good jump off for you if you make that move, because you're still 2 hours from Cape Town and still 50 minutes from Joburg. So if you think about how everything is strategically placed, you can get anywhere in under like 2 hours or less.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you can even get to Namibia in 2 hours. So
I can't wait to go
Yeah.
there. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We've been
yeah,
there a few
so
times.
so I think so to me, South Africa, when it comes to jumping off to get to other African countries, I think that you have the right perspective.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's an amazing place. But yeah, Cape Town was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. I thought I probably talked a little bit more about Durban because that's kind of where I'm going to end up. But I have
hmm
nothing to take away from Cape Town. Nothing at all.
correct. Yeah,
It was
yeah,
beautiful. It
yeah,
was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I mean, just like Tawani, she lives in Cape Town. We find this is just what we've found over the years, and we've got a lot of years of doing this. That most of the people that's from the West Coast, from the United States,
Yeah,
they just get to Cape Town
for
and they're
sure.
like,
they're
leave
like,
me
whoo,
alone,
that's
don't
it.
talk to me,
Yeah. It feels
stop it.
familiar. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
they're just
does.
like
I get
done.
that 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
yeah. So it is what it is. Like I said, there's all every time I go down there and I see Tawani, I always give her a hard time about coming to Josie.
yeah.
I said, "You coming to Joe Bird?" I don't
She
know.
loves Cape Town.
Yeah,
I want to
She
come to
l-
Joburg to visit, but Joburg didn't make the list because you guys
That's
are
okay.
landlocked. You don't have the water.
That's
But yeah,
okay. That
yeah,
you
but
yeah.
know what?
it seems exciting.
Again, it's a
It
50-minute
is.
flight. You can come up here for the weekend. You can be tired. You can run the streets, whatever you got to do, and then go back, relax on your beachfront, by your pool. You can do all of that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
So,
Excellent,
so
excellent.
somebody else had a pretty good question.
Okay.
Um, I'm assuming that's a question because there's no question mark, but I'm just going to make the assumption.
Okay.
Anyway, how does it feel to be in the majority?
If it felt so empowering. It did. It did. So as you can, I'm her anyway. Every day of the
Yeah,
week, right?
She said, "I'm
Um,
her anyway."
I'm her anyway. So it felt so empowering to look to the left, right, up and down, and the majority was you, right? And the
Yeah.
majority that was you was very warm and receptive and giving. The majority that was you, every conversation was
Yeah.
welcoming you home, and like, make sure you come back. Are you really thinking about moving here? Oh my goodness. So it felt amazing. It felt free. But I again, living away in other places, I've gotten a chance to feel that, but that energy was just a little bit more for me. It was here for me, in Africa, especially Durban. Yeah.
I love that.
I am glad we put Durban on the map.
Yeah.
Well, it's been on the
Durban
map, but we
used to
put it
be.
on
Yeah, it's
our.
been on the map, but on our, as
Yeah.
far as our one of our offerings.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
place to be.
Yeah.
It really is. It had, and I kept saying to people, if all of this is Durban, I only saw that much of it. And I can,
Yeah.
Yes.
you guys put so much on the itinerary, and for it to just be that much, that lets you know how much more of
Yeah.
Durban there is to experience, right? And I
There
can't
is. There
wait.
really
I
is.
cannot wait. Yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
So like this young lady put on here, she says, my exact thoughts, based on what you were saying, find a place, settle down, and then vacation within SA as well as other countries. And
yeah.
people don't realize. I'll put it to you like this, and it's going to sound like I'm going long-winded, but I'm really not. What I notice is that in over the years, Americans migrate to Africa, and then they spend some time there, and they're doing their thing, right? And while they're there, they're having an amazing time, but obviously they might be looking at content and whatnot. Eventually, we'll get a call. Hey, I'm in Kenya, I'm in Ghana, I'm in wherever, and they're like, hey, what about South Africa? And we tell them about it. So ultimately, they just kind of end up down here, and what's down here is a lot.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna come back to LaDawn in a minute, guys. But there's a lot down here. Like for example, um, let's say you come to Johannesburg. We got two major airports. We got massive roadway system to where you can actually cruise the whole country. And if you watch some of our older videos, we've had a car on every road that's possible here in South Africa. And then you got Mozambique, then you got Namibia, then you got Zimbabwe. We haven't explored Botswana, but Botswana is going to be next. They're just not far at all. You can actually just drive there. And then a lot of people go to Zambia. So that whole arena is what you ultimately get to explore while you're down here. And granted, I can't go. I'm saying I'm not going to go to 54 countries. It just ain't going to happen. But what we have found here made us happy. Being here. So basically, what I'm trying to say to you guys is that coming to South Africa, enjoying yourself, being part of this thing is incredible. But it really just starts with it's a journey. It starts with one visit, then you have two visits, and then you're on eight visits. I know for us, I think I had like 15 visits before I actually moved. Yeah, at least 15, maybe more. Every time I turned around, me and Tasha, we found ourselves in South Africa, and we stopped traveling to the Caribbean and stuff like that. It just because those are nice places, but it just didn't seem like it was enough for us. So let me get back to the team. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so you said you traveled a lot, LaDawn. Where would you rank this South African experience?
I feel that's a very unfair question to ask,
I
Mark,
know.
because I don't want any of the other places to feel like they were not wonderful. It ranks number one for so many reasons. I think it ranks number one for me because of the way that I got to experience it. Africa has
Yeah,
always had a special place. I always knew that I would retire in Africa, right? Didn't know which country, but I knew the continent it's been calling me. But coming and experiencing it the way that I have, based on traveling with you, your company, and the way you set it up, it just made it feel a lot more magical, right? And then the people that I got to experience really solidified everything that you guys say on these videos. So it just made it even more real for me. So it has to rank number one, starting with that. But it just was a beautiful country. I'm sorry, beautiful continent. Both countries were absolutely beautiful. It's number one for so many reasons. I could go on and on and on, but it's number one for sure, hands down. And just being around my people, like that feeling is something that's really hard to put into words. It
Yes.
really is, and so that's very important to me. Very important to me. So number one, number one.
Okay, fair enough. I know sometimes I walk around here every day, and sometimes South Africans that they're like, well, like, why did you come here? Why did you choose here? You're from America. I want to go there, and they should want to go there, and so forth, and on and on and on. And being, being part of the majority, it really does matter, and it's for us, for me and Tasha in particular, is really comforting. And I talk to South Africans all the time. And, I mean, as most of the people that are here are South African, believe it or not, and they're just South African. And I tell them all the time. I mean, yeah, things aren't probably exactly where you want them to be, or maybe Reaganomics hasn't trickled down to you yet. We know Reaganomics and whatnot, but they should be very. I mean, most of them are very proud of their country. I just want them to actively be proud of their country, because the people that we run across on a regular basis, and I mean regular basis, represent South Africans very well. So LaDawn, what would you say to South Africans, just based off your short experience, a fair assessment of South Africans, the people themselves?
So what I thought was very interesting, Cape Town and Durban, all within South Africa, but we are not a
Hmm.
monolith. We are just we're just we're all people. We're everything, right? So you got a different
Hmm.
flavor of an African in Cape Town versus an African in Durban, an African experience in Cape Town versus an African experience in Durban. And I really appreciated that, because that just lent itself to me to say we're just everything. We can be everything everywhere all the time, right? But to South Africans, thank you is what I want to say, because I did not have an experience where I got an opportunity to really speak to the people that they were not. I keep saying the same thing, sounding like a broken record, but I've traveled and it's not always a welcoming thing, right? Where
Yeah.
everybody was welcoming, where everybody really wanted to share who they were and were genuinely interested in who I was. Interested in, and like you said, my story. Like, why did you choose here? Like, I
Hmm.
thought that was just so amazing, because they did not have to. And people just really wanting to uh, introduce me as the American that was coming back. I thought that was really, I thought that was really cool. And the thing I'll say that I enjoyed most about my trip is I had two experiences in Cape Town and in Durban where I did not recognize. It happened a couple of times in Durban because I was busy doing whatever was happening. I did not recognize people were greeting me in Zulu, right? And my tour guide and the real estate professional had to bring it to my attention. They were like, you haven't spoken yet, so they didn't know you were from here. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be here because they don't even know I'm not from here.
Exactly.
That was the nail in the coffin for me. So yeah, they're just beautiful people. They were just beautiful people. Yeah.
Okay. So since I got you on the line
Mhm.
here, um, I mean, do you feel Americans should, especially African Americans, should be putting South Africa on their to go? I mean, on their right now list. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I think exposure is everything in any area of life. I think it should be a law. People should be required to travel just so that you experience something outside of your world, right? And I think it would give us more appreciation for diversity and just more tolerance of one another, right? So I think it should be a law. But as it relates to Black Americans and going to South Africa, I think it should be the top of every Black American's list to get to the continent. South Africa might not be your
yes,
flavor. It could be Ghana,
exactly.
it could be Kenya, it could be Namibia, wherever it is. Just get here. Just get
Yep.
there. go there and experience it and try to, I know everybody's financial situation is a little different, but if you can save up the time at the job and save up money so you can have an extended period of time, because it's 16 hours getting there, at least from Atlanta, right? You're going to take some time getting there. So you want to have an opportunity to spend a few days there and explore. And like I said, I saw that much. So I know there's so much more to explore. So yeah, it should be top of priority. If not to just see how it feels, just to come and see that what you've been told is a bold-faced lie. Everything about what you've been told, except for Africa is in Africa, is a lie. I don't know what other way to put it. I hope I'm not being rude, but you need to come and see it with your own eyes. You need to come and feel the people, feel their energy. You need to come and eat. You need to come and eat food that's not bioengineered. You need to come and eat food that's real.
Hey, at least one time.
Yeah, I'm gonna get real personal right here, and I'll be real quick. I'm in that season. I'm 54, and hot flashes know my name by first, middle, and last name, right? And they are vicious. I didn't have one hot flash, not one, while I was in South Africa, not one. And I am going to, and I try to be really good about what I eat, but not one. And I'm going to put that on the food. I didn't have one, not one.
Wow.
And when I tell you, right here, I have a fan. Right here. And y'all hadn't seen it because I've been fanning low. Yeah. It's the truth. I didn't have one. I did not have one. So come and eat food. I even went in Woolworths, took a video. I was in the juice section. I picked up several juices just to turn around and reading the ingredients. I said, you know what's on the juice? Fruit.
Juice.
There's no juice. There's no whatever words you can't pronounce. Like, eat some real food. Yeah.
Eat some real food.
Yeah. Okay.
Eat some real food.
Well, matter of fact, Tasha is our resident Woolworths expert.
I love it. I love it. Oh my God.
Talk about Woolworths, Tasha. Talk to her.
First of all, I'm not the current Woolworths expert. That would be my daughter.
Oh,
who's the current Woolworths expert. She loves Woolworths. I love Woolworths simply because the food is fresh.
Yeah.
Because the expiration dates do matter. I do go a couple times a week to replenish fruits and vegetables because they do actually expire. The juices, the freshly squeezed juices, amazing. They've got this great ginger lemonade, a great lemonade.
Yes.
But I love their produce. I love their meats. And it's funny because if you're like a lazy cooker or a lazy food preparer, they've got dishes that are already well prepared, perfectly seasoned that you can just like pop into like the oven or the microwave and be done. And sometimes we have to do that, and the food is amazing. I know that chefs prepare those foods because I met one of the chefs that was like, this is what I do. I actually prepare the food. I come up with new recipes for the Woolworths food that you take home. So I know it's real, and those things they matter to me when it comes to feeding my family. So we do the best we can, and we love Woolworths.
It's important. And I've seen it on the videos, of course, and then going and seeing it. I couldn't wait to get to one, right? And so when I walked in, even the small one in the airport was just still ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And they were clean. They were immaculate. The displays were inviting. All of the food is real food. I can't say that enough because that's important to me as well. And it was just, and then I went to one in the mall. It was a combination of Macy's here, Whole Foods but better, and one of the upper echelon like furniture stores. Like I could not. We had Woolworths here when I was growing up, but it was like a five and dime.
Yeah.
And I said, this couldn't be. This couldn't be the same. Couldn't be.
They came over here and reinvented themselves.
They did.
But you know what's funny? When COVID happened and we could only like go get necessities like food and toilet paper and stuff like that, not once were our shelves ever not stocked. And if you look at the beauty of Woolworths, I don't care what anybody says, Woolworths is aesthetically pleasing. I don't
It
care
is.
what you say.
It is.
It is
It is.
beautiful.
It is.
To look at how the shelves are stocked, how really nothing's ever not there, like that matters. If you're looking for something for your family, you ain't got to be like, ah, they ain't got nothing today.
Yeah.
Very
Run it
rarely
really
does
good
that
stores.
happen.
Yeah.
So just knowing that what you're going to get is going to be there makes shopping so much, it's like an event. Like I enjoy it. So
Yes, she
I
does.
enjoy
Yes, she
Yeah.
it.
does.
I
But
do. I enjoy it.
you spoke to, is South Africa the place? Did I feel culture shock coming back home? To that point, Latasha, like I had to end up going to the gas station to get water during COVID one time. And like a 24 pack, they were charging like $20 because they could.
Mm.
Because they could. Just the greed here, the lack of concern about basic necessities and people being able to have access to them. It wasn't a thing. People didn't care. So for you to say you could go during a crisis, a world
Yeah.
crisis, and things were still looking normal, no, that was not the case here. So again,
We
that,
didn't have a shortage of anything.
yeah, I want
Mhm.
that. I want that. I want that for my family, like for that to be
Yeah.
normal. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I'm trying to do it
Excellent.
sooner than later because I feel like I'm nervous. I don't ever try to make decisions in haste, but I'm nervous because I feel like pretty soon one or two things will happen. Either
Mhm.
we'll get the announcement that America's closed and they ain't letting us out, or we'll get the
Oh,
announcement that other countries will be like, yeah, we don't want y'all. So so just
well,
based on the
that's like
current climate here.
that sounds like a catch 22. That was terrible. That's not good.
So yeah, you got to get
Yeah.
out. You got to get out. So that's the goal, to get out, because it's a real concern for me just based on the climate that we are currently living in, and I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. Yeah.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, that I mean, we don't we get a little you know thing on YouTube we watch, because we're here. But as far as walking around every day, knowing the temperature of how people are feeling and all the intangibles, we don't get. The only thing that we actually get is when we get people who are, what's the word? They book a phone call with us to discuss, their trip, or which location they should go to. And I mean, it sounds pretty daunting, to say the least. People are nervous, as you said, nervous. People are very, because I mean, who's to say one day they're going to come? You wake up one day and they're like, "Hey, report to so and so,"
Yeah.
or this, or your bank accounts are frozen, and you're like, "What's going on?" And now you're there, and you're there.
And
I
that's a
don't
real
know.
concern. That's a real concern for me.
Yeah, and it should
I'm
be.
not saying that lightly. It really is.
Mm,
I think it's a
yeah, so
concern for
that's
a
why
lot
I
of people,
tell
actually.
people. Yeah, so that's
Mhm.
why I tell
Oh,
people, again, on our side, because we do take, these phone calls are private, so I'm be like, oh, just playing them. But if you saw them, you'll be like, wow, these people are really really upset. And for us, it's kind of like it weighs on us because we're not there. All we could do is just provide you an opportunity, and then if you come like you did, and then hey, like for example, the real estate tour in Durban, people are going to come, and they got their mind about what they want to get until they get there and see all the plethora of stuff they're going to see. But they're going to have that option, and some people are going to want to make moves. And now you got the insurance guy there, you got everybody there that they need to know,
Mhm.
to answer all their questions. And there's going to be people from that tour we already know that are going to be like, okay, I need to go back home and get myself in order and get back over here because of how they're feeling today.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that
mm-hmm.
that feeling ain't going nowhere. At least I don't think so.
Right.
Mm-mm,
Right. It's going to
mm-mm.
get much worse before it gets better, and I would like to be able to know that my family is safe. And I mean, I guess you could go a lot of places and be safer,
Yeah,
right? But to know that my family is safe and in community with people that look like me, in community with people that want me, in community with people that will welcome me and my family, right? So yeah, that's very important. It's
yeah,
extremely important to me right now.
Yeah, because I think what happens
Hey,
is, yes, babe.
I
Top.
was just going to say that Robert Ville, one of our friends and subscribers and viewers, gave LaDawn her name. Her name is Nomvulo. Nomvula. Nomvula. So
Okay.
he said that if you didn't have a name, he needed to give you one. So because it's raining, he named you Nomvula.
Thank you. That is, see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Yes. Could we type that somewhere so I can?
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Okay. Okay.
So
Good
might
deal.
as well,
Thank
yep,
you.
Nomvula.
Much
Yeah,
appreciated. Thank you. The love.
yeah,
The love. Got to get back. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the short version of this because this video go 10 hours. But the short version, no, it would. The short version of this is that coming here is different than living in the United States. So you need to understand. I'm going to use a proper American term, the customs and courtesies about how things work. How do the people work? Because those are who you're going to. That's who you're going to interact with. If you interact properly, then things go your way. For example, you said, "Hey, every driver, every person that you ran across treated you very, very well." I mean, it's in them anyway. But again, we've been here a long time, so we kind of have to say, "Hey, this is what it is," and they say, "Oh, okay, no problem," and you have a good and you have a you have an amazing experience. But you get some people because your how can I say it? Your spirit is nice. It's very easy to work with.
Thank you.
Some people are coming here and they're stressing, and that
Mhm.
stress is like an odor, and you can just feel it. And nobody here in South Africa wants to deal with stress. I know I don't. You coming to me stressing, I'll be like, okay, you can go over there, because nobody wants to deal. Because nobody here. If you notice, people are stressing, and they
That's right.
got problems, but they ain't stressing. So
Right.
when you come
Right.
as a black person from the United States, and you're trying to do all this because you don't know anything, that's when you start having problems,
Yeah.
because people are not going to engage you because you're bringing them
Doing too much.
stress.
Yeah.
As
Doing
that's
too
what I'm saying,
much.
doing too much, and that's where people end up falling short. But once they've been here a few times, they realize that they don't need to be stressing people out. They need to drop the stress, and people will help you, as
Yep.
you said, they will help you all the
Yeah.
way through the process. They will just help you,
Yeah.
just simply because.
I was just amazed. I was so amazed at how willing people were to, and that is crazy that we can say that out loud. That you are like when you go somewhere and you're amazed that's good customer service. It should be a standard, right? I was just
Hmm.
amazed at how willing people were to help. That should be a standard. I had an experience going up to St. Lucia. I saw people walking along the highway, just walking on
Hmm.
the highway, and I said, what is happening here? And he said, yeah, people come out, they have to go somewhere, they just walk along the highway and people will pick them up. I said, what? He said, yeah.
Yeah,
He said, people will pick them up. I said, buses don't come out here? He said, yeah. But by the time the bus gets out there and it makes all the stops, you just could have gotten a car
They
with somebody.
late. Exactly.
yeah.
One, just one. We look out for each other. It does not matter. Like, it was
That's a
just,
good observation. I'm
yeah.
glad you noticed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so many instances like that, and it wasn't again you seeing somebody doing a documentary and they do like 5 minutes on that and you think no, the whole time I was there, that was the experience. So that let me know that that's way of life there. That's way
Yeah,
of life. You are your brother's keeper. They are looking out for their neighbor. They do care about you, like for real.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
you guys, I'm telling you, you guys have lit the path, and I think you're lighting the fire for a lot of people. And again, the way that you're doing it, it's not hodgepodge, it's not piecemeal, it's not like y'all be in
mm-mm,
bed again tomorrow and then we're gonna try to get you over here for a couple. No, the whole
mm-mm.
experience was absolutely amazing. Like literally from the first conversation before I even went there, just the ease of having the conversation with Latasha and her asking me really what it is I wanted. And then say, give me a couple of days, and came back with this amazing itinerary, right? Just everything from that first conversation to my unfortunate last text from Savannah saying, you got to go to the airport. You gotta go. Like even my
Savannah's so mean.
she
I
is
know her. She be
the
put.
young
She
lady
be
that
she be kicking people out the country.
yeah, she got that
Okay.
part together, right? But even the young lady that I worked with during the property tour, she
Uh-huh.
on her own, because we spent literally the whole day together. And I say the first 20 seconds of our interaction, she had me crying because she was so warm, right? She came on her own to the airport to see me off. She sat there with me for 2 hours until my flight took off.
Welcome to South Africa. That's all I can tell you.
Welcome to
Yeah.
sunny South Africa, as they say.
All right now.
Hey, I ain't going
Thank you,
nowhere.
guys. Thank you. Just thank you. Just thank you. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. We like I said, we really appreciate you trusting what we do. We do put in a lot of work, not hitting ourselves on the back, but we really appreciate those, because I mean, think about it. I mean, people put their money on the line, their time and their effort, and then there's somebody at home telling them don't go. I
Yes.
wouldn't go. I wouldn't go to Africa. Like I trust me, I've been there. We know this, and so we want to make sure when you land here in South Africa, there's somebody there at the airport to pick you up with
With the
little name,
sign. With the
with a sign.
sign.
It's important. Yep, I need that sign. So I tell my guys, make sure the sign is ready to go, because it's important. It really is. And then you feel welcome and all of that. So, like I said, we really appreciate you doing this testimony or impression of South Africa. I'm sure the South Africans are hearing this, and they really appreciate a lot of the things that you say, because you think it don't mean nothing, but I can tell you this: people stop us all the time. Me and Tasha could be walking somewhere, and there's people looking at us, and so I know they know who we are. But then they're kind enough to come up and say thank you for what you're doing, for our country. Yeah, no, thank you, and all of that. And in my heart, I feel like that if somehow we can somehow get a proper connection between these African Americans and these South Africans, it's a wrap.
It's a rap. Rapo dapo. You hear me? Rap.
Yeah,
Rap. Yes.
yeah. You know what I'm talking about because you've been
Yes.
here.
Yes, it is. And I understand why they make it so that we don't. I understand the propaganda. I understand why we're taught
Yeah,
what we're taught, because they know it would be over.
yeah.
100%.
You don't want these.
What?
Go ahead. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what I know. And believe it or not, there are things in the background that's happening that most people that have no clue of what's happening through the AU and through their State Department, which we deal with on a regular basis to try to put things together properly. So there is a conduit that we can actually go through, so we can actually work closer together. Um, Truth be told, the Immigration Act of 2002 lays it out pretty easily, but most people don't want to read that. I've read it enough times. So those who don't know, it's called the Immigration Act of 2002 here in South Africa. Read it. I read it 1,000 times, and that's why I'm sitting here, because I was like, oh, so they're not really trying to stop me from coming. They're trying to tell me which way to go. So
Yeah.
if you do this, then we can approve this. Then if you do that, then we can approve that. And then boom, 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 and then all of a sudden you're here. Versus, they don't approve things on rumors and innuendo or what they heard on the internet. That they have. I mean, this is a real country. This is a whole country.
It's a whole country.
It's a
Yeah.
whole country. You know what I'm saying? And you got to treat it as such, and whatnot. And once you show that respect and whatnot, then it will hopefully in time will show it back. And then one day you'll be sitting on the other side, like, man, I can't. Like me and Tasha wake up most mornings. Man, I can't believe we still here. This is great.
I know it. I
I can't
know it.
imagine the feeling. I don't know that any of the videos that I've ever looked at, and I think I looked at all of y'all videos 10,000 times, that
Yeah.
anybody's ever specifically asked you that. Because I know, having lived somewhere else, I woke up and was like, oh my God, it's Wednesday and I live here. Oh, that is so cool. So I can't even
Yeah.
imagine what is
Yeah.
that feeling, having decided to make the move, did the work,
Okay.
get it done, and you got there. And not only are you living there, you have a flourishing business and you are bringing other people. What in the world does that feel like?
Surreal.
It's
Okay.
you know it's very interesting. Um, Me and Tasha's kind of what you call it, jaded when it comes to business, doing business properly, because we had businesses before, an
Hmm.
amazing business in the United States, we did very well. We to the point where we were actually able to sell it outright, and whatnot. And if it wasn't proper, you couldn't sell it. It just doesn't work. So obviously, we were doing all this stuff for many years. So we try to protect our brand, try to make sure that the people that's coming behind you um, can, it's not destroyed, meaning that we got people coming through that's, kind of, you know, um, how can I say it? They're, how should I say it, Tasha?
Just stay muddying up the water and keep it
Yeah,
moving.
sometimes they do. They muddy up the water for those that are coming up behind us. They over there at the front desk, trying to get things they know good and well they don't supposed to get, and then they're there trying to get the driver to take them places that knowing good and well that's not
Oh,
the
wow.
deal. I mean, it happens all the time. So on that front, we try to protect it for those that are proper people that was going to come in and really appreciate what's happening, the opportunity to enjoy themselves here in South Africa, just like you did. And then, but personally, it's still. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. The jury's still out as far as like how we feel. We always keep saying one day I'm gonna be 70 something years old. I'm 56 now, and somebody's gonna come. They're gonna say, "Hey, Mark, can y'all come over to so and so?" And we're gonna show up, and there's gonna be a whole bunch of people in there who said, I came to South Africa and I built my life here, and my kids are here now, and like all these things. That's what we're thinking. But in the meanwhile, we don't spend a lot of time, what's the word? Reveling in the victories of the people in this month, the 38 people who flew in and flew out, and whatnot. But I know at some
No,
point it's planting the
but
seed.
what we
Yeah,
do, honey, is we actually enjoy waking up so much that when we are just doing like our everyday routine, we typically stop most mornings over coffee and be like, man, can you believe we live in South Africa? Can you
yeah,
believe
this
this
is
is our
crazy.
life? Like, we're still there, even though it's been seven, we started
Yeah,
year number 8. It still feels like, man, like I get to do this, like, because I know this is a privilege.
yeah,
And I say it's a
basically.
privilege because and that's why we don't take it for granted, because I know South Africa has, rules and laws that allow you to be here properly, and we've done all of the things to be here properly. But we also know that you can do things properly and it's still their country. They can still say no. So the fact that they allow us to be here, um, I'm happy, and I don't take that for granted. So yes, I am grateful every morning when I go downstairs and Mark allowed me to buy this expensive commercial coffee machine so I can have
Yeah, we
special
want nice
coffee every
coffee.
morning. I enjoy my coffee, and I typically have about 2 cups, and it takes us about 40 minutes to have our coffee before our day starts. But we are typically grateful every morning. So yes, it's still surreal, but we're still very, very grateful to be here. And I think that a lot of the people that have made the transition here understand that South Africa allows you to be here and that it's a privilege. And I believe that when you get here, because you've had such a positive experience, you'll know that you've done the work and that being here is the privilege, and you'll enjoy your morning walks on the beach. You'll enjoy looking at all the trees. Like, you, look at her face. She's like, I can't wait.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the best way I can put it into words for myself.
I said it. I'm gonna say it again. Thank you. And again, for anybody that's watching, if you're wondering if this is real, like, they have done the work to create a company that has a mission and is passionate about the mission, and we get to benefit from the mission and their passion. Everything was executed very, very well. And I want everybody to know that, like, you can come and your money, the monies that you paid to have this experience, it was allotted properly where it's supposed to be for you to have an
Exactly.
exceptional experience. And it I'll be hard pressed to try any other travel because this is my first time doing this. As I said, I travel a lot, whether it's been for work or personally. I think I've worked with a travel guide maybe a couple of times, but it's been things that I've curated for myself. I have a sister-in-law that does travel. She's a travel guide, but she does stuff for the family, and it's always fabulous. But I've never dealt with a company like yours. And I'll be hard pressed to even trust that anyone can do it to the level in which you all have done it and to do it properly. And I'm just amazed that not only do you offer packages for people, whether it's the uh, property tours or the luxury spa packages, but you also are able to offer opportunities for people to have individualized packages like myself, and you can come anytime. To be able to manage all of that, to keep it all together and organized for groups as well as individuals is nothing short of phenomenal. And to have that type of experience, it has just been, I mean, I haven't stopped talking about it. And I took so many videos and pictures. Like I had the young lady that works with my company to do our marketing and stuff. I gave her all the stuff. I said, you need to put this together for me because it's too much. I can't put it together so I can be able to share it with my family and friends, because I have family members that really still think, people are Africans are living like on Tarzan. Like, no.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to show it in a way that I saw it based on what you guys curated for me. Everything was really, really top notch. And I appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart, because you could just be there enjoying the experience in yourself and be like, yeah, the rest of them will figure it out. But no.
We've thought about it.
You guys are creating for both for Americans coming, offering a different way of life, and then for bringing people to the continent, bringing an American resource over there, even if it's just our dollars that we're spending at Woolworths, we're still contributing, 100%. Right? So
yes, absolutely.
It's a win-win for everybody. And I just cannot wait to get back. Like, I'm really, you don't know how much I'm really trying to talk myself out of. I literally just left and I want to come back to the Durban tour just because it's more days. Like, some of the stuff I probably wouldn't even need to see because I might have seen, but I'm telling you.
No, probably not.
I'm trying to think of who's not going to get a Christmas gift this year because
Hey Tasha, what's the young lady? I can't remember her name. Simone. She came 3 times in a year, I think,
in
something
less
like
than
that.
12 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
She came on one real estate tour. She came back with her family and then came on the second real estate tour. She did 2 real estate tours in 12 months.
Yeah, I'm feeling like that. I'm so feeling like that. It's hard being here. It is. I thought it was hard coming back to America after living other places because I had a great experience, but this is another level. It literally is. If I could just smuggle my family in a suitcase and we could show up at the border tomorrow.
Look, yeah, one guy that's traveled with us 3 times, that's Lazarus. He was like, "Don't fight it, just book it."
Yeah, and that's what's really happening.
On his way back.
That's what's really
He's
happening.
on his way back. I'm
trying to justify. I'm trying to justify my mind, girl. Like you just unpack. You literally just unpack. You can't pack it up. I'm having that fight like every day. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will not to shout out the real estate tour, but we are staying on a proper resort this time. So we'll be on a resort. Every room is beachfront. Obviously, you're going to see properties over, the 5 days. You get a few days downtime to go look at additional properties if you want to. There's a full service spa that's open from 7 to 11 p.m. at night. There's multiple bars, restaurants. So it's going to be a really nice 10 days. Just in case.
I thought you were a nice person up until this. I did.
I would love to see you there.
Oh my
God. I would love to see you there.
Yes.
you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
You're
you're
gonna
gonna be
probably
okay.
I'm
you're probably
focused.
gonna
I'm
figure it like
focused.
me. Because I know when I was going back and forth, I was just going back and forth because I just needed a break from the U.S. And it might be 3 months. I'm like, I can't, I gotta go. And then I go back to I come for a week, 2 weeks, and then I fly back to the States, mad as hell.
He did.
Like this is damn
That
sense.
part. That
Yeah,
part.
I'm like, why am I here? If I didn't have this company, and so it was funny because we tried to figure out many ways to keep this company. We was like, it take a lot of work to build these companies, and of course, you're not getting no loans from the bank, nobody's helping you. So we did it ourselves, and we bust our tail, we reinvested everything we had to tell the story short. But we were trying to keep the company. We were going to we hired a GM to run things while we wasn't there. We did everything. We just realized that if we were going to be in South Africa with
We needed to be.
Yeah.
problems, middle of the night calling people, what's going on at the clinic,
Yeah.
did the patients, pay their co-pays and dumb and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, and we just started fresh. And then of course we're business people. So, um, we do business. So people might not understand how we do things. Most people do things like, hey, I'm gonna put a flyer together. I'm in the States with you, and I'm gonna fly one day prior, and I'm gonna set everything up. Oh, I don't know what they do. I really don't know what they do. I just know they sometimes call us and ask, can we help them? And we're like, no.
Yeah.
I don't know your people.
Yeah, you do
I don't
you.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know them. I don't know
Yeah.
them. So, but
Yeah.
my people who come with us, as you said, you had a conversation with Tasha. We kind of know our people who are
Yeah.
who are coming
Yeah.
with us, and we know what to provide and whatnot. So it just is what it is. Is there anything else, LaDawn, you want to add before we part
No,
ways?
thank you again. Thank you,
This is
guys.
amazing.
You guys, thank you for not only what you do, but thank you for allowing me an opportunity to share my experience. I'm hopeful that anybody that was on the fence, like, I'm hoping that I'm believable enough for them to say, yeah, I think it's something that I need to do for myself. I need to experience myself. So thank you for giving me this platform. But just thank you again. You guys are amazing, and
Yeah,
it shows. It shows.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
it.
thank you.
That's all I have.
Well, I got something for you. The last thing I got to say. What you've been doing, telling people, not just particularly for our good, but just telling our own stories. We all know we got to tell our own stories. They ain't gonna tell it. They ain't gonna
Mhm,
say nothing.
mhm, mhm.
We don't know who the theys are, but you can fill it in. But yeah, we're not gonna tell it. We're gonna tell our stories to our people, of the experiences that we have. So all I can say is just keep telling the stories. Just keep telling them. Just keep
Yeah,
telling them the things, even if they ain't even listening. Just keep telling them. And if you can influence one person to have an amazing life because they decide to come to South Africa, then you won.
yeah.
You
I,
won.
will-
Exactly.
I am an official ambassador for the real South Africa. Please know that somebody is
All
out
right.
here in Atlanta, Georgia, singing your praises for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Well, we
I love
appreciate
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
dear.
so much. You
No
guys have a
problem.
Thank
great time.
you.
All right,
We'll
All
bye.
be
right,
in
bye.
touch.
Okay.
All right. Bye bye.
Tasha, what do you think?
Oh
LaDonna's
my
off the
God.
charts.
Oh my God. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he's just fine.
Why can't I hear you?
You don't supposed to.
I don't know what happened. It's acting funny.
Okay.
It's okay. Um, what was I gonna say? Um, I love all the comments that people have been making. I love the fact that they gave her a name, Nomvula or Omvula, if I'm saying it correctly. I love that the South Africans chimed in on the chat and basically appreciated us for what we're doing. And most importantly, recognizing that we do stuff by the book, that we do follow the laws in the country. We did come here legally, and we are trying to assist people to come as tourists. And once you come as a tourist, if you decide to transition, that you do it the legal route. So it's nice to be recognized for the work that we are doing, and the people that have traveled with us multiple times, recognizing that it's not that we're the only way to travel to South Africa, but if you really want to travel worry free, that's kind of what it is that we do, and I'm happy about that. So that's all I got to say.
Roger that. Well, thank you, Tasha. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap this up and leave it here. Like I said, guys, we do amazing tourism. And obviously, you've been hearing that for the last. This video's been like 2 hours. We had no intentions of going 2 hours, but we decided to go 2 hours because it was good information and whatnot. So again, if you will like and subscribe to our channel. If you're not subscribed and you just happen to be passing through, go ahead and subscribe, and we will see you guys here in what we like to call sunny South Africa.